this week we wanted to kind of address some of the questions we see on Facebook. We belong to,
well, probably 8 or 10 RVing groups, like RVing in Western Canada, Canadian Grand Design, GDRV for Life, quite a few actually.
Grand Design, Travel Trailers, No Fifth Wheels, Canadian RVers. So we belong to a few groups. So we've seen some people asking questions to the groups that typically get answered, but we thought we would put our spin on it. One of the first questions I had seen at the beginning of summer, and granted we are at the end of summer and into fall by the time you'll be seeing this, but the question was, when you're boondocking, how do you make your water work? One of the responses was, make sure you have water in your tank. Brent's going to go through how our trailer works as far as boondocking goes.
Well, we don't boondock very often, but when we do, the place right before our boondocking stop, I fill the freshwater tank. It's very easy on these Nautilus system. So you've got all the different settings. You got your dry camping, which is boondocking. Power fill is what you're going to fill your fresh water tank. City water, that's when you're hooked up to your regular spot and everything is going to be running straight from the spigot outside. You will not be worrying about your freshwater tank with the city water setting. Sanitize and winterize, those are two settings that are very rarely used. Aside from sanitize, we use whenever we dump our black tank, of course, which is roughly once a week.
And because we live in our trailer, we don't winterize.
And we are living in it full time, yes. So for dry camping, just follow your settings. It's very simple. Once you have the water in your main tank, you fill there, and then once you get to your spot for dry camping or boondocking, you put it over to this setting, and everything should work fine. If you have another issue, such as one of your taps won't turn on or will not.
So, and then there's one more step too when you go inside, is we have to turn the pump on.
The water pump can be turned on from the outside or inside.
Another topic we wanted to cover was truck size. So we pull our Grand Design Grand Design 315 RLTS.
You got it, babe.
With a Ram 3500. What is our tongue weight, Brent?
The tongue weight on the trailer itself is just under 1,000 pounds empty. So once we've got weight in the front of the trailer, that'll of course increase a little bit. I believe it won't go over 1,150 pounds in that ballpark, or shouldn't anyways, depending on what you're hauling.
Over the course of the summer, and when we see people hauling their trailers, I saw one doozy. Somebody was hauling probably about a 25-foot travel trailer with a Mercedes SUV. Now, my daughter used to have one with her husband, and she said it had tons of power. But it was like this.
It doesn't matter how much power you have in the engine. Sure, you may have an engine that can haul a 44-foot fifth wheel, but if you have no suspension to support the weight of that fifth wheel,
yeah,
your headlights are going to be pointing straight at the sky, and you're not going to be able to steer at all, and you're an accident waiting to happen.
The other thing too, I'm just going to change arms here. The other thing too is this was a dual axle trailer, so the nose of the trailer was pointing down. So there's wear and tear on your axles and your tires.
Oh, that's just within 100 miles I can see that thing going off the road so easily. All you have to do is catch a semi-truck pass you the wrong direction and you're gone. Doesn't matter if you have weight distribution hitch or anything. If you're hauling a 25, 28, 30 foot travel trailer with a small SUV,
better rethink your plan.
I hope you're not traveling that far.
So
For the
the
sake of
other,
everybody.
and we've seen lots of the same situations, people hauling fifth wheels with an F-150, for example. It's
There are 150 series fifth wheels out there, which are made for half-ton trucks. That's all well and good. But what really irks me is people that try and haul a bigger trailer than their truck will tow. Sure, you can pull it, but the suspension is undersized, your brakes will be undersized, and if you're hauling a, say, just for a ballpark figure, a 40-foot fifth wheel, and it's got a, let's say, a 1,300 pound tongue weight on the hitch, that truck is undersized. You have to go to a 3/4 ton at least, or go to a 1 ton for sure.
So when we first started on this adventure, we had contemplated writing our...
In British Columbia, it's called a Code 7, which is to haul a heavy house trailer. Anything over, I believe it's 4,600 kilograms, 10,100 pounds.
One of the things that we have learned by contemplating that is the information that we read. And I'm just going to show you on the truck. If you want to talk about this maybe a little bit, Brant, that what should the front and back axles, should the wheel frame,
Okay,
the fender be the same distance?
when you're setting up a weight distribution hitch, when you first set it up, you measure from the center of your wheel well to the ground through the center of your tire. Once you put the weight of the trailer on, you measure again. And then you put your weight distribution bars on and you measure again. So you should get 3 solid measurements, and if they vary more than 1.5 inches in any direction, you have to readjust your weight distribution. So whether you have a half ton, a 3/4 ton, or a 1 ton, you have to be aware of what it will pull, what it can stop, and how you will level it, whether it's a fifth wheel or a travel trailer with a equalizer hitch.
So our
Or
travel
weight distribution hitch, sorry, I should say.
our travel trailer, we could have gotten away with a 3/4 ton.
Yes, that would be a bare minimum.
Okay.
I wouldn't even try and haul this trailer with a half ton. That would be insane.
Yeah.
That would be an accident waiting to happen.
With us, with the Ram 3500 with the Cummins diesel, we have no troubles at all towing.
Oh, it's a beautiful truck. She hauls everything like magic. But if you're contemplating going from if you have a travel trailer or you want to get a certain travel trailer, get enough truck to haul it. Get enough truck to stop it. Don't get a truck because it costs $5,000 difference between one and the other. Sure, there's budgetary reasons you might want to do that, but is your life really worth that extra $3,000, $5,000, $8,000?
Safety first.
Safety first, absolutely. A lot of people we see on some of our Facebook pages, they have trouble with their hot water tanks. Some people have board issues. We have not had a board issue, knock on wood, as of yet. We've had the rig for just over 1.5 years. It's been great. The only issue we did have with this particular model, it is made by Dometic. The water drain plug is plastic. And our first one lasted almost 10 months. It was great. I haven't had one last more than 6 weeks since. So when I did change it out, I put the Teflon tape on, screw it in. I put it in with about 3 threads showing. So it's in most of the way. Eventually, a little bit of heat, it gets a little pinhole in it, not a problem. $5 plug, toss it away, put a new one in. I did find at Home Depot yesterday when I went out looking for something else. The exact same plug. The 2 packs that I get from the RV supply places, 2 for $10. The exact same thing, $1.77. And for the amount that we're going through, I bought a dozen of them. It's like, it's just a no-brainer. They fit exactly the same. I've tested them both out. One other thing that I did have, I bought a brass one, thinking that the brass won't blow holes, it won't have a pinhole, no problem. It's got a bleeder valve on it so you can relieve any pressure, even though at the top of the tank there is a hot water relief valve. I found out at a seminar at the RV show last year, the brass ones you should not use, because once they are in, the plug is supposed to be a weak point for a blowout. You've got an aluminum tank, you've got a brass plug. If that plug is in there, the plug is no longer the weak point and you may rupture your tank. I've said this before, I'll say it again. This brass one for me is emergency only. So I will stick with the $5 plugs or the $1.77 plugs. If I go through one a month, it's the price you pay. You live in an RV.
What gives you the indication that there is a failure in the plug? What tells you that?
The only thing that I find out is when I come over here, we're dumping the tank, or we're setting it up or tearing down, or the problem with the breaker. When this is closed, all you see is just a slight drip of water. If there's any water dripping from there, you open it up, and usually you'll see a little spray, just a little mist, or even a drip off of that plug.
There's an ant crawling on my foot. Hang on. Okay.
just on this plug here, you might see a little mist of water, or a slight drip. It won't be a lot, but it will be noticeable if you have this closed. All it's going to do is gather water, and it will just start pouring out, and it'll only be a drip, but that would be the indication to change your plug.
One of the questions that we see quite a lot on the Facebook groups is questions about generators. That's your department, Brent.
Yeah, well, we have a Champion hybrid. I believe it's a 4550. It's an open frame. It's not really loud. It's about 68 decibels. It does what we need. It covers everything that we need. We're not going to run the AC and the furnace at the same time, so it's one or the other. It all depends on what your needs are. I've seen a lot of people talking about the Predator series, and a lot of people talking about the Honda. Honda is basically cream of the crop. That's as good as you're going to get. They are ultra quiet, but they are also ultra expensive compared to the Predator or the Champion or a Furman or whatever like that. So it all depends on what your budget can afford and what you want it to run. So you just have to be aware of the wattage of items that you're using, whether it be an air conditioner, your fridge, a blow dryer, a toaster, fireplace, what have you. It's a very simple question. All you have to do is figure out the wattage, go from there.
So we did a video a little while back about our generator and what it would run in our trailer. So here's a link down below for that video.
Just a general clip on what our generator will run in our trailer.
One of the other questions we've seen a lot on Facebook is, what am I going to do for internet? What am I going to do for Cablevision? Do people have a satellite? This is what we do. This might not be ideal for you, but this is what we do. Mm-hmm. For our television, we just run Cablevision that the park provides. If the park does not have Cablevision, then
we have a WineGuard Air 360, which will scan for channels that are anywhere in the area. And when we were in Kennewick, Washington last September, we picked up probably 55, 60 channels, all digital. A lot of them were high school sports, which was fine by me. She didn't really care for it, but anyways, yeah, the Winegard Air 360 picks up anything if it's in the area. Aside from that, if
And it was
people
a really clear picture.
yeah, it was all digital. It was fantastic.
However, this past year when we were staying in Canada, we were in just outside of Edmonton, and we got the basic local channels, which was CBC, CTV, and
We did get a global. Yeah, global is our main news channel, anyways.
And then when we were in Saskatoon, we had the same. So we had about 3, maybe 4 channels. We also had City TV at one point too. In Moose Jaw, we didn't get anything, which was weird. It was still in the prairies, so you would think there would be lots of channels floating around out there. Once we got into the Rockies, we had nothing.
So it all depends on the towers that are in the area that you're camping in. If you have a satellite, that's a totally different ball game, and you can pretty much watch whatever you want, whenever you want.
Yeah.
Our backup plan, aside from the Winegard, if it's not scanning anything, we have a DVD collection, of course, and if any of that goes down, I've downloaded all of our movies onto the hard drive for my computer. So we can watch a movie whenever we want, wherever we want. So
It just gets kind of redundant after a while.
yeah.
Speaking of the computer, so we have a desktop and we have the laptop, and we do require internet to use to bring you the videos. Often we'll use the Wi-Fi within the park whenever we can. For uploading the videos to YouTube, it requires a very quick Wi-Fi signal. So for that, we've gone to our little MiFi guy. So he works like a dream. We have to be really careful with, I was just trying to turn it on.
Well, being in Canada, we have to be careful with data overages. We can go up to 50 gigabytes.
No, it's $50.
$50.
When we get to
In
the
overages.
$50 limit, so we get to the tier that we're at $50, before we can go to the next tier, then they send us a message on the MiFi and on our phones saying, hey, you're at $50, or is it okay to go ahead? So usually we end up sucking it up and sending a message, yes.
Just to clarify that, $60 is the base rate, and anything above that takes you up tiers, and each tier costs more.
Yeah.
Once you get to $50 over the base rate, that's when they notify you that you've reached your limit and we need to clarify that you want to continue.
You can, on this device, you can add several devices. We don't bother adding our phones because our phones have shared data, and we can go up to 12 gigabytes on that. And this one is basically unlimited, and it's really, really quick, which is what you need to upload your video to.
It is unlimited, but it's an expensive unlimited.
Yeah. So we are through Bell.
Yeah, Bell Canada.
Bell who is our provider, and so if you want more information about the MiFi and how much, what their packages are, then you can look that up online.
It'd be bell.ca.
Yeah.
Rogers is the other large corporation in Canada, and they're roughly the same price-wise. They're in the same ballpark.
Yeah. So that's what we've done to resolve our Wi-Fi issues. It's not cheap, but then again, we're not paying a crazy cable internet package of like $200 a month. So once in a while we get up to around $300, but not that often.
But both of our phones are tied to the MiFi as well,
Yeah.
so it's all one package. So it
Yeah.
works out a little bit cheaper that way. If we were in the States, that would be a different ball game completely.
In Canada, you are limited, but if you're going to be in the States for a long period of time, then you could probably look into some of their programs that they have available there. And
Sprint, Verizon, AT&T.
yeah. So there you go. And I know for Cablevision, some people have resorted to satellite. We have no desire to pack around an extra satellite. The Winegard does just fine for us. Is when we're out traveling, are we really there to watch television?
It's not like you want to travel 1,000 miles, park somewhere,
And
look at
watch
the beautiful
TV.
scenery, and watch a movie.
That's us.
If it's pouring rain, that's another game.
Yeah.
But yeah, when you're out exploring, you want to go out and explore. Television is just secondary.
So those are all the questions that we thought would be of some interest to folks and how we resolved some of those questions. That's all we wanted to talk about for this week.
So if you like what you see, give us a thumbs up
Don't forget to subscribe.
and ring that bell for notifications. We'll see you next week. Take care.
Okay. Can't see. Glasses on. There.
I'm in the shade, but it's in the sun.
Well,
That's okay.
we should probably both be. Let's back up. Hang on. And Brent's gonna go through how our boom. What?
It doesn't matter how much power you have in your rig,
Yeah.
or in your truck or trailer, or start that again.
Okay. Okay, go. What is so funny?
Well, you're supposed to go. Action.
Okay. Go ahead.
So